Compelling conversation about stories that matter to you. This is Viewpoints with Todd Heyden on CJAD 800.
Welcome back to the show. A little One Direction. 1D, if you are cool, getting us started there. Live while you're young, or is it live like you're young? Wait. There we go. Live while we're young. All right. This next story, and I'm really happy that I got this on the show because it is a bizarre one, but I think it's one that deserves to get some attention out there. You read it, you think, huh? It's got to do with ballet in Canada and porn. Yes, that's right. Ballet and porn. Scoring a spot in the Royal Winnipeg Ballet is not an easy road by any means. The Royal Winnipeg, if you're not familiar, is a well-known ballet school with a long history of great dancers. Even if you're an experienced dancer, such as our next guest, you have to endure some pretty grueling auditions to be accepted. He was accepted. He earned a scholarship from its school. Won a choreography contest as well. 22 years of age. He did come with experience from Denmark, back in his home country, where he danced for the Queen as well. When he arrived in Winnipeg last year, he came from Montreal, where he had been part of a dance troupe. But when he started dancing with the Royal Ballet in Winnipeg, his career came to a screeching halt. School officials discovered that he had another job as well, performing in gay porn for a company called Cocky Boys under the name Jett Black. And he was asked to leave the school. Now he is in New York, where he joins us on the line. His name is Jeppe Hansen, and he's standing by. Jeppe, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
All right. What do you think happened here? Just lay it out for my listeners here, because it's a really interesting story, and you found yourself right at the center of it.
I very much did. Well, what happened was that, that the school and the RWB, which is a great and large artistic organization, found out that I was doing porn on the side, and decided to ask me to sign a letter saying that I was resigning from the school program that I was in.
What was their reasoning? Did they say did they say they thought it was going to hurt their image? What did they say to you?
It was never really never really explained. We didn't have a conversation about it. They didn't ask any questions why I have decided to go into other artistic means. What they said was that they simply didn't have space for me at the school.
What do you think was the real reason?
Clearly, they were afraid of hurting their image, and maybe also, well, that's the only thing I can come up with. Maybe, yeah, they're afraid of hurting their image, I think.
Now, you are a very accomplished ballet dancer. How difficult has this been for you to see what's happened?
It's of course been very difficult for me because I've danced my entire life, also as a professional for several years. And going into the RWB school was very important for me to gain more experience and technique as a ballet dancer. So being a dancer where your entire identity is built on what you do artistically, and being told that you have to stop, not because you're not good enough or because you physically cannot do it any longer, but because you have chosen to make other artistic directions, I think is very, very difficult to be told, and it's been a difficult ride since, I think.
We are talking to Jeppe Hansen. He was a former ballet dancer with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, but also was doing gay porn work on the side. When the ballet found out, they pushed him out of the school. Tell me this, there has been a lot of interest by particularly Canadian media in your story in the last week or so. How do you feel about the attention?
I think the attention is fine. I was originally asked to participate in the story, asked if I wanted to participate in the story by CBC, by Brian Hicks, a reporter there. And the reason why I decided to participate in this was not to get back on the RWB, but to create a conversation that I think is really important. I mean, our society glorifies violence and destruction. Horror films features torture and mutilation, and it's marketed to teenagers, as well as popular music flooding young minds that makes us like images of sex, drugs, and religion in almost perverting ways, but somehow this is all acceptable. But yet, sexual depictions of consenting adults having sex for adults is bad and evil and morally unacceptable, or a dead end for anyone who decides to do it as a profession. And I think, honestly, I think it's a really, really important conversation to have. And we live in 2013. I think it's important that we can focus on being the natural sexual persons that we are, and continue our development by understanding and accepting the directions that other people take.
That's a really interesting viewpoint. I'm glad you shared it, because I think there is an argument there that you are making, that, unfortunately, whatever you think, there are a lot of people in our society who consume pornography, and yet there's a certain hypocrisy where they may look down on people that perform in these movies, even though they're buying them, they're watching them, they're consuming them.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this, though. It's always interesting in these kind of experiences when you go through what happened with the Royal Winnipeg to put yourself in their shoes. If you had been in charge of the ballet, what should they have done?
I'm not sure what I would have made a decision in the end. I would definitely have asked to have a conversation about it and to know the opinion, figure out what's the background, why have he decided, or why to make the artistic decisions that I did.
How did they find out what was going on?
Today with social media especially, pictures get thrown around so easily and so quickly. And a fellow peer of mine found some pictures and notified the artistic staff.
I see. Was this someone who had a vendetta against you, or just decided to do it because he thought it was the right thing to do?
Honestly, I don't know. I wish and I hope that he, of course, was just concerned.
I know that the ballet, and I saw that the interview that was done by CBC. The ballet really hasn't made public comments on this, have they?
No, and I think from their point of view, I think it's probably also the best for them. Yeah.
So what happens to you now, Jeppe? I mean, what do you do?
Well, right now, I, of course, keep myself in shape. I train and dance every day, and I still work for Coggy Boys and our director, Jett Black. And we continue making erotic and pornographic short films. I go and I take theater classes, and I still try to continue developing as the artist I would like to be.
Does this harm your ability to get back into ballet, do you think, like longer term?
To start with, I was very afraid that it would, and that's why I didn't object against the RWB when they asked me to sign this piece of paper saying that I couldn't be part of the RWB any longer. And also I thought that this attention from the media would hurt me. It has shown to be quite the opposite. I've actually had some great opportunities offered to me, both from ballet companies, but also from other kinds of media. So it's been very interesting.
So what you're hoping is once this story blows over, you will actually be able to dance again, because that's where your passion is, right? You are a ballet dancer first and foremost.
Definitely, and that's what I love to do. I mean, I'm of course open to keep developing as an artist in any direction, but definitely I'm a ballet dancer. That's what I've done my entire life, and that's what I have devoted my life to. So, of course, I will try to keep pursuing the career that I have in front of me.
Do you have any bad feelings towards Canada or the Royal Winnipeg for what happened?
No, I love Canada, and I've really enjoyed both living in Montreal and in Winnipeg. And to a certain degree, I do understand what the RWB have decided to do. I wish they could have started the conversation with me about it instead before they made the decision. I mean, to me, art is completely subjective and based on like an individual's how we observe it as individuals. And I really want to continue to express myself through art in ways that interest me and bring something to me as a person.
Jeppe, thanks so much for sharing your time with us today. Very much appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.